Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover, from one that shows fans confused due to a recent post from Eminem that some have described as Eminem taking the piss, and we'll expand on this in a moment. And today we also have more linked to rappers like Redman, Kanye West, and in Kanye's case, he was warned by Suge Knight. And we also have more from rappers like DaBaby, who was forced to choose between Tupac and Eminem, and you wouldn't believe the responses that this has sparked on social media. And it turns out to be quite the eye-opener that's bound to raise eyebrows, since clearly the narrative online doesn't match the reality when it comes to some conversations in hip-hop, and we'll get to this later. And as usual, I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comments section. And starting with the post that sent Eminem fans off on social media, it goes, and this is music to be murdered by. Tomorrow on Eminem.com, eyes emoji. And this left users with a head scratcher, as we got Eminem teasing merch for music to be murdered by on a random date, and his last album, The Death of Slim Shady, has been ignored for months now, and the conversations began on social media. A merch drop for music to be murdered by is the most random bum-ish ever, laughing emoji. I swear, M's team does this just to keep stans on their toes, laughing emojis, to which a user expanded, typical Shady Records, waiting for MMLP 25 news, and they decide to drop a random bum music to be murdered by merch capsule, not connected to any anniversary. It is like how last fall would have been the perfect time to drop Encore 20th Anniversary Edition, with the track list that M keeps claiming would have been a classic. Instead, we got a merch and reissue of the album with blacked out covers. This is why I don't feel bad about the leaks. I guess you could say that some fans are losing empathy, and we got more alluding to the case that's on right now, involving the former employee who leaked the music, who was charged by the feds a few days ago. It goes, Paul needs to pay the lawyer fees to send a guy to prison for life over leaking music, so he created anniversary merch 2 months too late, and the passive aggression continued. Freaking Paul, shake my head. They should open another store, to be honest. The whole Mom Spaghetti restaurant / store was low-key a success. If they open a Shady Records / Eminem store, maybe in LA or anywhere, it's gonna be successful. All these merch drops, as annoying as they are, they sell out like worm bread during the famine. I once said, let me check it out and maybe buy one of them t-shirts. They were sold out before I could even click LOL. And over on Twitter, aka X, it was more of the same. Eminem's team keeps confirming they are the most out of touch people. We are in the Death of Slim Shady era. They haven't done anything in months for that album, and now they are dropping merch from a previous era. The anniversary of Music to be Murdered by was 2+ months, by the way. So many things wrong, so many things. Facepalm emoji. But some users couldn't help themselves but speculate that this could mean something. Check it out. I wish they are hinting on a tour on that post, but let's be honest, it is 99% about merch and only. It doesn't make sense to announce a Music to be Murdered by tour while we are 5 years later and on a new era. I hope I'm wrong and they give tour dates when I don't see it. Well, hopium and copium is a hell of a thing, as even the fans who look to be down and out still have some hope. But what are your thoughts on the random merch and them drops? And moving on to the next point, we got Suge Knight out here calling out Kanye West for calling Jay-Z's kids cognitively challenged. Check out a snippet from The Art of Dialogue, where Suge Knight revealed that he believes Kanye West needs some old-fashioned bum whooping. Check it out.
Beyonce is the all-time greatest of a black woman. Her mother, Tina, is one of the best women around, and I like Jay-Z. Jay's a businessman. One thing I really want to say is that I had conversations with Kanye before, even recently. I need to holler at Kanye. I don't want to go by what other people say, what the media say. I want to hear from him. We never disrespect no one's kids. We never put anyone down. That's the kids. And what I mean by that, most people probably don't have the nuts to say it. I don't got nothing else, I got my nuts. You don't talk about Jay, Beyonce's children, or their son, whoever. You call them retarded. That's what we won't do. It's real consequences for those type of actions. I put the people in the hip-hop, people in our community, on a higher standards than that. We came a long way as black people, as slaves, not to attack people's kids or somebody is disabled. That's not funny to me, not one bit. I love all kids, and I love hip-hop, and I love the culture of our people. I'm trying to prove my ways and myself. I would hate for us to have to go backwards. That's basically what it is, you know. He's a bitch, and I look at it like this. What Beyonce does for hip-hop and the community of our people, that woman works really, really hard. What Beyonce accomplished and the balls she has to fight hard for the culture of our people says a lot. She's one of the hardest working people that ever been in that business. Then Jay accomplished a lot. Jay got bars. He works hard. But for Kanye to say something about a child, he need an old-fashioned ass whooping.
And to be honest, while Suge Knight is right about Kanye, that he should have never took it there, Suge Knight is clearly not in the position to be the moral police for anything. He's got no moral legs to stand on based on his past actions. As if we were to compile a list of the worst things that people have claimed Kanye has done and also include the worst things that they say Suge Knight have done. If it were a top 50, Kanye would have no room to make an appearance, and this has sparked reactions like, since when Suge had a moral compass, and some have added, you know you done messed up when Suge steps in and calls you out on a moral issue, laughing emojis. And we got more, we can all agree on this. Remember, Beanie Siegel had to save him from getting his Rockefeller chain took. Kanye is all bark and no bite. He wouldn't say that to Jay in his face. And it seems some Drake fans are still pissed off at Jay-Z due to what he allegedly orchestrated behind the scenes. Check it out. Why Jay-Z gets no sympathy. Bro, the same one that selected Kendrick so he can perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. And Suge Knight's history continues to haunt him as some have expanded. Same man that took pictures with Puff's son back in the day when Big and Pac were going at it right. But what are your thoughts on Suge Knight being the moral police when it comes to the Kanye West crash outs online? And moving on to the next point today, we got one from Redman that shocked hip-hop fans who believed he had a closer relationship with associate Method Man. Check out a snippet from the Julian Dory podcast.
All the music went up like far as on iTunes and downloading and streaming.
I'll bet.
Because of this. And the prices went up too, as far as booking us for a show. Yeah. Everybody prices went up.
You and Meth get to hang out a lot these days still?
Hell no.
No?
No. We do shows and we come back home. I don't hang out with a lot of rappers at all.
Why not?
I don't.
That's work.
Yeah. This is work. This is home. Like, we're very inclusive with our movement. Like, once we off the road, we like, all right, you got family to deal with. I got shit I got to do. My circle is very small, very small. Like, either I'm hanging out in the park. I'm a park dude. I like doing my walk. Dude. Yeah, I like doing my walk, little calisthenics, and getting back to work. Yeah, so we all have different lives. I don't hang out with rappers.
I wouldn't have expected that answer.
No, hell no. I might call. Like, it's a lot of MCs who I'm connected with. Like, you know, of course, Wu is my crew or whatever. But it's a lot of artists that we might chop it up on the phone. But no, only artists I hang out with is my boy Do It All Do from Lewis and the Underground, and Tretch if I see him in the hood, and that's about it. And
what, like, when you're getting creative?
And Kid Capri is my big bro. Like, I talk to him and I go see him all the time. But he's not a rapper though. He's a DJ, one of the best. But
yes, legendary.
And for some hip-hop fans, this was a shocker, as they expected them to be closer. Hence reactions like, there's something underlying here. He refers to him as just a rapper or another MC, reducing him to just a mere collaborator and not a brother, especially considering they are literally Redman and Method Man. That's different. Although some users see it differently, I don't blame Redman for it. I hope Redman and Method Man still cool with each other. And some users have expanded on how they lead very different lives these days. Method Man is doing plenty of acting these days. Redman is on a spiritual journey in his 50s outside of music. It is understandable you don't have time to hang out. I'm in that age range where I have plenty of friends but don't necessarily hang out as much, but it is still all love. And here's one before we move to the next point. Sounds like for Meth and Redman, it is business. Nothing wrong with that. Never assumed they were besties, but sounds like when they need to chop it up, they do. And moving on, we got one from Uproxx that showed DaBaby forced to choose between Eminem and Tupac. Certainly a difficult choice. Check it out from Uproxx. DaBaby has cited Eminem and Tupac as the two of his biggest influences, so when we forced him to pick between them, he was not happy. Welcome to Soundcheck, where we ask your favorite artists to make the tough but fun decisions. Check it out.
Oh my God.
Two legends, two of your favorites, two of the world's favorites.
Okay.
No matter what, there's probably a fan base out there that's gonna be like, how did you not pick my guy?
So y'all brought me here to get me in trouble.
The day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them.
So we have Pac and we have M.
I'm pretty sure like it shows with like my music videos too. Like Eminem was definitely. Yeah, like even now I know every word to both of those songs, you know what I'm saying? I can rap it with their voices, but I'm gonna go with All Eyes on Me. It's because of the vibe of it, you know what I mean?
And it is quite surprising how the fan bases are taking this, as the typical narrative is that it is Eminem fans who are unhinged for the most part, but we got some takes that are quite eye-opening, especially if you believe the narrative, as on one end you could see Eminem fans post responses like, you can't go wrong with either choice, and more from the Eminem fans that I found, man has taste. And contrary to the narrative that you find online, we saw some eyebrow-raising responses like, good choice, lol. If you chose bro over Pac, I was gonna join the hate campaign, lol. And some even expanded the most disrespectful comparison I've ever saw. Like really, the most disrespectful Till I Collapse versus All Eyes on Me. And we got more, probably the easiest choice ever. And when you see these takes, you'd think they were comparing two songs that were mismatched because one was like lyrically inferior or something, when Till I Collapse is also a certified classic that also happens to be the most successful non-single in music history. But hey, people just gotta go off and get triggered when Eminem is involved, and in this case, it is not the fans who are throwing tantrums because DaBaby picked M, he picked Pac, and they still had things to cry about. And Uproxx put a poll, which song represents your taste more? Till I Collapse won by 55.7%. But overall, what are your thoughts? Do you think the comparison was disrespectful to Pac, and did it warrant the responses that we explored? Share your thoughts below in the comment section, and if you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.